Buenos dias, bonjour, buongiorno, konnichiwa, and welcome to IMTBike Tours and Rentals, the IMTBike Mystique presentation. We have 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we're going to try and talk a little bit about everything. I'm going to talk about all of our tours, but before I do that, I'm going to give you a little history of IMTBike. I'll talk about some more facts about IMTBike. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the different tours by region. I'm going to start with Spain and Portugal, and then we have a video presentation on Spain and Portugal. Then we're going to go to Morocco, and then a video presentation on Morocco, France, Italy, the Alps, and then a video presentation on that region, followed by Japan, so a video presentation on Japan. Okay, so that's the way it's going to work. Then we're going to talk about our guides. Why? Because for me, it's the most important part of the IMTBike Tour Mystique. Okay? Question and answers at the end or during the presentation. If anybody has a question, you can raise your hand, you can throw a GoPro at me, you can throw a pen. If you have a hat, you can throw that. So questions are good. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Yeah. And way in the back, Alice, you're okay? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so IMTBike has been running motorcycle tours and rentals in Spain, Portugal, Morocco, France, and Italy since 1997. We started in 2015 to go to Japan and Southeast Asia, and we've also done global tours in Colombia, in Turkey, we've been to New Zealand. So this is what we've been doing. We love to travel in these regions. We love to learn and develop relationship with the locals and then share that with you. So this is what we like to do. Now, in 1996, I was not riding motorcycles at this time. When I was riding motorcycles, I was not dedicating my life to motorcycles. I was dedicating my life to trading currencies, believe it or not. And in 1996, I was living in Dubai. This is before any of you had even heard of Dubai or the Emirates. I was there while they were building it, and they built it with slave labor, kind of like the pyramids in Egypt. They had cattle cars full of workers come in and built everything that you know of what Dubai is today. And I traded currencies for a Swiss company. 50% was owned by the Sheikh of Dubai. I had a beautiful apartment. I had a butler. I had a Jeep. I wore a 3-piece suit to the office. I had a little bell for my tea boy if I wanted some tea or something, and he'd come and bring me whatever I wanted. I was 30 years old, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I didn't like suit and ties. I didn't like being indoors. I wanted adventure. And one of my friends said, well, what do you really like to do? And I said, I've always loved motorcycles since I was 10 years old riding motorcycles, and I've always loved traveling. And she said, why don't you start a motorcycle touring company? And I think at the time there were maybe 2 or 3 that existed, and I said, hey, that's a great idea. So the Swiss company sent me back to Madrid to work in the Madrid office. I lived in a 5th-story walk-up apartment in the old section called Malasaña, a really cool apartment. And during the day, you can pick that up, go ahead, might be important. During the day, I would trade currencies, and at night, I started to work on the business plan. So between midnight and 2 in the morning for 4 months, I would open up my 4 balconies and breathe in the center of historical Madrid and just write the business plan. I wrote a 120-page business plan, and then after that was done came the toughest part of my life. It was kind of like that movie Animal House. Do people ever see that movie? It's an old one. I had a devil on one shoulder and an angel on this one. And the devil said, "Don't you dare do this. What, are you kidding me? Go back to New York and work with your father on Wall Street." And the angel said, "Go ahead, roll the dice. You can do it. Roll the dice. You buy the BMW motorcycles." Then the devil, don't listen to him. It went back and forth and back and forth. Finally, I listened to the angel. I bought 8 BMW motorcycles, and I ran the company out of my apartment in Malasaña. And that's how I came to be standing up in front of you today. Okay? Whoa, thank you. Thank you, Alice. Wow. So, that was 28 years ago. We started with 8 motorcycles. We have 250 motorcycles now. We have 8 locations. We are an official partner of BMW Motorrad. What does this mean? This means that we were chosen by BMW Ibérica, which is the Spain-Portugal BMW office, headquarters. They recommended us to BMW Germany. They accepted us. We went to Munich to do training for a week. Then there was an exam. And now that we've done that, we can now display on all of our webpage and marketing these logos. So we're official partners with BMW Motorrad. We have 250 motorcycles in 5 locations. We are the winners of the TripAdvisor Best of the Best Award for the last 7 years. To win the Best of the Best Award, you have to be in the top 10% of travel companies in the world. We have about 500 reviews, and they're really long ones, and they're very, very good ones. If you go to TripAdvisor and type in IMTBike, you can read all the wonderful things. You can filter it if you want to learn about Morocco or storing a bike or something like that. You can filter it to read about what you like. We also have over 800 reviews on Google for our 5 bases. We have a 4.9 average in every single base that we have. And of course, we have an 85% repeat tour member percentage. This is something that we're very, very proud of. And what does this mean, Ruth Ann? This means that if we have these 10 people right here go on a tour with us, how many are going to come back again? 8.5. 8.5, Ruth Ann. How we're going to get the half person back, we don't know, but that's how it works. That's 85%. Super, super proud. Okay, so what bikes do we have in our fleet? We have a little bit of everything. We have the small 310. We have the new 800 GS, the new 900 GS Adventure, 900 XR. We have the 1250 RS. We'll get the 1300 when it comes out. We have a few of the 1250 GSs. At the end of this year, we're just going to be all 1300 GSs. We have a few of the 1250 Adventures. And at the end of this year, we'll go all for the 1300 Adventures. With the 1000 XR, when the 1300 RT comes out, we'll have that. And then we have the 1600 GT. So we have a little bit of something for everybody. If somebody just wants to rent a motorcycle with us, absolutely fine. We rent them. The prices are on the website. It's an all-inclusive price. So it has all the taxes and insurance. We have 24-hour roadside assistance. You can store your luggage with us. If you want to do a one-way rental, where you pick up in Barcelona and drop off in Malaga, for example, that's absolutely fine also. How we doing? Any questions? Doing good. Okay. Okay, so where do we have the rental centers? We have in Barcelona, in Bilbao in the Basque Country, in Lisbon, Madrid, where I've lived for the last 35 years, and in Malaga. Okay? And getting back to the questions, it can be on anything. So not just, if you want to learn about how to make a paella, gazpacho, the running of the bulls, which I've done 4 times, we have time. This is a premium seminar. I'll answer anything. Okay, anybody store bikes in Europe? No. Has anybody in the past? Raise your hands. Oh, these two right here. and Bob. We will store your motorcycles for you. We have 5 bases. They're obviously safe with alarms and insurance. We'll do basic maintenance for you, and you can store all of your riding gear also. So you can leave your helmets and jackets with us, and then just fly over whenever you want, and then pick up the bikes. Okay. The IMTBike Tour recipe. So this is new, recipe, because does anybody like food? Raise your hand. That's a funny question. So, I mean, for me, the perfect motorcycle tour is like a recipe. And the ingredients are very, very important. You have to have high quality ingredients, just like a Michelin star restaurant would have high quality ingredients to prepare their dishes. We have perfect BMW motorcycles. We are extremely meticulous in the maintenance and the care of our motorcycles. We're sponsored by Metzler Tires. We put new tires on well before new tires need to be put on the motorcycle. You will never come over and look at the motorcycle and go, oh, doesn't look good. You're gonna think that they're all brand new motorcycles. We handpick amazing hotels, okay? Very, very important to us that you have unique, special hotels. We like delicious cuisine and wine. We always try and choose local dishes and wines so that you can experience different foods that maybe you wouldn't try back home. We have professionally designed routes. We're constantly looking and updating the routes because they're constantly paving roads that before were, had potholes and they were not in good quality, and now they're perfect, great routes. It's your wife, isn't it? Okay. Does she know you're here, or should we pretend you're at work or something? Okay. We have master chef guides. What does this mean? For me, the most important thing in a motorcycle tour will be the guides. The other ingredients are more or less easy to come by, but a master chef guide is not. And I'm going to talk more about that later on. Okay, so amazing hotels. In Spain and Portugal, we like to use paradors and posadas. Has anybody stayed in a parador here? Raise your hand. Yes, some people. These are beautiful hotels converted by the Spanish government there's palaces, fortresses, there's old convents, monasteries, and they're converted into these beautiful, beautiful hotels. And they have the best chefs in Spain working in the hotels also. In Morocco, we stay in riads and kasbahs. A riad is an old noble home in the center of the Medina, in the old section of Morocco. Kasbah would be the typical place in the south of Morocco. It looks like a fortress. So this is the inside of a Kasbah hotel. This here is a Parador hotel, right here. And we stay in Italian villas in Italy. And in Japan, we stay in what's called ryokan hotels, which are typical Japanese hotels. So this is Kathy. Is Kathy here? There we go. Hi, Kathy. So this is what the Parador is welcoming us. This is ryokan. So this is in Japan because we now do global tours to Japan. You sleep on futons, and then you go to an onsen. Has anybody been to Japan here? Did you go to the onsen? Do you know what the onsen is? In the hotels in Japan, you can be in a beautiful 5-star hotel, and it's a beautiful room, and then you go into the bathroom, and it's a little small bathroom. And you're like, I don't understand. It's a 5-star hotel, it's beautiful, but the bathroom looks like it should be on a ferry or something. And that's because on the bottom floor of the hotel in Japan, they have what's called onsens. And these are thermal baths where you go there. There's one for men, one for women, and you go there, and the first thing you do is you have these cleaning stations. So you completely soap up and clean yourself. And once you do that, you go and you soak in these thermal baths. And this is what the Japanese... That can't be your wife. Or can it be? Dun, dun, dun. So that's what the Japanese do. That's where they take baths and get clean. Delicious cuisine and beverages like wine. Here we have some pinchos from the Basque Country, paella, some pasta in Italy. This is in France, some agnon. We also have, in Morocco, this is kefta, tagine. This is jamón ibérico pata negra, the best ham in the world. We have sushi in Japan, carpaccio, great desserts, all very important to us. And this all makes up part of the recipe for our great tours. How we doing? Any questions? Everything good? Thumbs up? All right. Okay. A typical day. So normally we will leave between 8 and 9 in the morning. It depends basically what time breakfast starts. We like to leave about an hour after breakfast starts. We will stop every 1 hour and a half, and we'll stop for a coffee break or mint tea up here, coffee. We could stop. This is Japan. Here we went to a Buddhist monk monastery to see that. So after an hour and a half, we will stop for something. Then we'll ride about another hour and a half. We'll stop for lunch. We'll ride for another hour and a half. And then we will arrive at the hotel between 4 and 5, depending on what the day is like. Now, when you arrive at the hotel, you'll have 2 or 3 hours to drink a beer, drink 2 beers, go for a swim, go for a walk, have a siesta, do whatever you like. And then what we like to do is we like to have a briefing about a half hour before dinner begins. And the guide will go over the following day's route. This is Roger, here's Martine. This is Mayo-san and Eriko-san, our Japanese guides. And they will explain exactly what's going to happen the following day. And then we have dinner. And we have great dinners. We have very, very good dinners on our tour. Yes, we do. Because we like food. Okay, so where do we ride? That's what Colleen wants to know. Our home base, this is the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal. Does anybody know what IMTBike, why IMT? Anybody have the answer to that? Oh, Rick does, he remembers. IMT stands for Iberian Moto Tours. This was 28 years ago the original name of the company. Now, in general, Americans, us Canadians, are not that good with geography. So the Iberian Peninsula was complicated for people. A lot of people would come up to me and say, you know, what's the name of your company? Is it Siberian Motor Tours? And I'm like, no, it's not Siberian Motor Tours. That would be a very nice place to ride motorcycles. So I changed it to IMT and I added the bike. So this is the Iberian Peninsula here. We like to go into France, Italy, we do the Alps up here, we go to Corsica and Sardinia, and we love Morocco. And we do Japan, we do Thailand, Laos, Vietnam also. Okay, so these are the regions that we travel. A couple of facts about Spain. We're going to talk about Spain and Portugal first, and then we're going to have a video, okay? First fact. Spain is the most mountainous country in the European Union. How many people knew that? Raise the hand high. Nobody. Oh, one person. How many people thought that was Switzerland? Raise them high. Don't be shy. Raise them. Raise them higher. Higher. Switzerland isn't in the European Union. Or it would be Switzerland. It would be Switzerland. So it's a trick question. But after Switzerland, Spain is just all mountains. And it has almost no traffic. And it has great asphalt. It's an incredible place to ride motorcycles. Spain could be 7 different countries. You could have Andalusia in the south, Catalonia, where Serge is from. You have the Basque Country, Galicia. So it could, and each region that I just mentioned has a different language, has different architecture, different food. The people look different. So if you took the United States and compressed it, you could have California, you could have Texas, you could have New England, the South. It's very, very similar. There's 4 MotoGP races. Does anybody follow MotoGP? All right, good. Spain has great riders. We have the reigning world champion, Jorge Martin, and we have 4, the only country in the world to have 4 MotoGP races. And Spain is what I consider, after all of my travels, riding motorcycles around the world, I have never found better roads anywhere than in Spain. There's no traffic, the asphalt is great. You can ride all year round. I ride a motorcycle all year round. That's the truth. And here's one of my claims to fame. I have never owned a car in my life. That's true. That is not a joke. I don't think I have not met anybody else that can say that, but that's the truth. And I ride a motorcycle every single day of the year.
You've only been leasing, right?
What's that?
You only been leasing a car.
I only get what?
Leasing a car.
Leasing, ha ha. No, don't lease. No, that's a cage, no. My wife has a car. I have a wife and 2 daughters. We have to have a car. Yes, sir?
Temperature. What kind of temperatures do you have there?
Okay. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. But the beauty of Spain is that we can ride all year. I live in Madrid. I ride all year round, okay? It's a high central plateau. Right now it's 100 degrees. It's like Arizona, okay? And then in the winter, it goes down to 50 to 60 degrees. But that's fine. But the way that we organize the tours is in the cooler months, we ride in the south of Spain. And in the, like in the winter time, more or less, we're in the south of Spain. And in the hot months, we're up in the north. We're in the Pyrenees Mountains. We're in the Picos de Europa, Galicia, Asturias, País Vasco, all along the north. Good question. Thank you. Some facts about Portugal. Oldest country in Europe. How many people knew that? How many people thought it was Switzerland? Just kidding. Portugal has had the same border since 1139. Its border has not changed, so that makes it the oldest country in Europe. Because if you look at a timeline of European countries, you can see they expand, they contract, there's wars, et cetera, et cetera. So, oldest country in Europe. The largest cork producer in the world. I think 85% of cork, the whole world around, comes from Portugal. So the next time you open a bottle of wine, if you're wine drinkers, you can thank it probably came from Portugal. Has a very high level of English, of spoken English. Now this is super interesting because in Spain, which is just a neighboring country, we have a very low level of English. It's getting better. Truth is, it's getting better. But it's nothing like Portugal. Why? And this is something, if anybody has young children or grandchildren, and you would like them to become bilingual, I'm going to tell you the secret. And the secret is, it's very, very easy. In Spain, all the TV is dubbed. So if you watch an American movie or a series, everything has fake Spanish people dubbing it. Now, in Portugal, the same movie or series is just subtitled. So the Portuguese listen to the English, they read the subtitles in Portuguese, and they do this their whole lives. And taxi drivers, the person that collects the garbage, policemen, fishermen in a sleepy little fishing village, all speak English just because they've watched TV with subtitles. That's the truth. How do I know this is true? Because I have 2 daughters. I only speak to them in English, but I'm going to go over here for Colleen. But they watch TV only in English, and they use a lot of words that I don't use. I'm like, well, where did the composter? We have to, I'm like, I haven't said the compost. This is when they were little. So they learn all these words from TV. So if you have a grandchild, for example, they don't know the difference. Put on cartoons in Spanish or in French or in whatever language you want them to learn. They have no idea if it's English or Spanish or French, and just always put the cartoons in that language, and they will develop the ear and they will learn that language, I promise you. Nazare, home to the 100-foot wave, discovered by Garrett McNamara. This is the largest wave in the world. Have you all seen does anyone surf? Any surfers here? We got one person, good. Have you seen the tow-in surfers where they have the jet ski and it tows the guy in and that's in Nazare. This is about an hour north of Lisbon, and it's the month of February when these big swells come in and they have these great surfing competitions. Okay, very quickly, I'm just going to kind of run through this. Out of Barcelona, we have our Perfect Pyrenees Tour. These are the Pyrenees Mountains right here, separate Spain from France. So this is 8 days, just doing 8 days in the Pyrenees, coast to coast. This is going to go from Barcelona to San Sebastian in the Basque Country. So this is going to weave in and out, doing the Tour de France passes in the Pyrenees, and then back to Barcelona. New for 2026, the Costa Brava, Catalunya. We're going to start in Barcelona. This is the Costa Brava, this part of the Mediterranean. We're going to head up into France and then come back down towards Valencia and then back to Barcelona. These will be done when it's cooler. So we will start June, July, August, September, and I think that's about the end of the season for these. Okay, and here we have some typical pictures with the Pyrenees Mountains and the Mediterranean. In Bilbao, this is in the Basque Country. Has anybody been to Bilbao? Raise your hands. Nobody's been to Bilbao. Does anybody know a famous building in Bilbao? This is easier. The Guggenheim Museum. A beautiful, Frank Gehry, the architect, Canadian-American, titanium plates, and it just billows out in all different directions. So Bilbao is where we have one of our bases, essence of northern Spain. Now we're heading this way. This is loosely based on the Camino de Santiago. Anybody heard of the Camino de Santiago? Okay. Camino de Santiago, the French version, starts in France, crosses over in Roncesvalles, and then goes to Santiago de Compostela. So this here, the short tour, 9 days, will go to Oviedo and then return. And the longer tour, which I just finished last week, called Northern Green Spain, will go all the way to Santiago de Compostela. These are the Picos de Europa, the largest mountains in mainland Spain, Cantabria, and the Basque Country. It's a phenomenal tour, and it's extremely, extremely green. It looks like Ireland, okay, or maybe Scotland. It's beautiful, beautiful countryside and incredible seafood, if anybody likes incredible seafood. Central Spain, Madrid, where I live. We have our castles and mountains. This is a 9-day tour that goes all around Madrid. There are 7 World Heritage Sites all around Madrid. You have the aqueduct in Segovia, the walled city of Avila. We have the little town of Trujillo, where all the conquistadores, Pizarro and Hernán Cortés came from. So this is all around Madrid, so we do that. And then we can do that tour, Castles and Mountains, and tack on another week, and we do this part of Portugal. And then out of Madrid, we do what's called our Land of Vineyards. Starting in Madrid, we go up to the Rioja region. Has anybody heard of Rioja wine? Couple of people. Then we go to Ribera del Duero, Bob has heard of we go to Ribera del Duero, we go to Toro, which has the Mencia grape, then we go to Porto, so we're doing this, like this, we go to Porto, then we come back down, Ciudad Rodrigo, Salamanca, and back to Madrid. We do this after the wine harvest, so you can smell the grapes in the air, and you can stop by, of course, when we're not riding, and try all of these delicious wines. Does anybody like wine? Raise your hand. Seriously. Okay. See, I love wine. In Spain, I can get a good, in a restaurant, a glass of wine for €2 for $3. I can get a good bottle of wine at a nice restaurant for under $20. For 15, 16 euros, I will get a good bottle of wine. And when I come here and a glass of wine is like $15, $16, in the US, I'm a beer drinker because I will not pay that money for a glass of wine. I wait for Spain. Okay. So this is the aqueduct in Segovia, built around the time of Christ, no cement. This is the Ribera del Duero region. This is Avila, the walled city of Avila. And this is a gorge, I think, outside of Cuenca. Okay, Malaga. We have a great base in Malaga, and out of Malaga in the winter time, so when it's cooler, this is when we ride down here in Andalusia. We say Andalusia, Andalusia. We have the lisp, okay, saying Andalusia. We start in Malaga. The essence of southern Spain, we go to Granada, Córdoba, Sevilla, Ronda, everything that you want to see in Andalusia in a short amount of time. We have the Portugal and southern Spain. Here we add on the southern part of Portugal. New for 2026, we're riding from Malaga up along the mountains, Valencia, all the way to Barcelona. It's a one-way tour. You start in Malaga, you end in Barcelona. And then we also have a brand new best of southern Spain, 16 days all-inclusive of the very best places in Spain. One of them is right here where they shot all the spaghetti westerns. You remember? Right there, okay, that's in Spain. And, okay, so here we have, this is Sevilla, the cathedral, this is Arcos de la Frontera, and this is, Sergio, what do we have here? Paloma, Puerta de la Paloma. Puerta de la Paloma, these are in the white towns. Okay, and then the last, before we go to our video, we do 2 tours that are exclusively in Portugal. We do a shorter tour. The essence of Portugal starts in Lisbon and does the northern part, and then the best of Portugal, which does the northern plus El Algarve, which is here. ¿Cómo se llama esto de Pitbull? ¿Cómo? Yeah, and then the Alentejo, that's one, Alentejo and the Algarve. So we have 2 different routes that are exclusively on Portugal. Okay, this is Porto. These are the port wine bottles. This is a very famous photo. The cliffs of Portugal are amazing. The roads are also fantastic. So, everybody ready for the first video? You tired of hearing me talking? Look at Colleen, I saw you shake your head like yes. Any questions before I go to the video? Okay, let's do it. Hope this works. Okay, first video. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay. Any questions on Spain, Portugal? We're going to talk about Morocco now. There might be a quick question. We're good. Yes, sir.
What is the group size that you have? Do you have a limit, like minimum and maximum?
Very good question. Question is, what's the group size minimum maximum? We take a maximum of 10 motorcycles or 16 people, whatever comes first. So that's where we would cut off. A normal group size, I was just in Green Spain, we had 13 people and I think 8 motorcycles. So that would be about the norm, I would say. Good question. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, let's talk about Morocco. Has anybody been to Morocco? Okay. Big Daryl. Now, Morocco.
Did anybody want to go to Morocco?
Morocco is probably my favorite place to visit on a motorcycle or otherwise. I get the biggest kick out of going to Morocco. I have been there over 60 times. I try and go twice a year still. If I add up those 60 visits, it's probably 3 years of my life I've spent in Morocco. And it's a fascinating country. And when I get to the border to cross into Morocco, I feel like I'm 12 years old again. I get like a little butterfly still after 60 times. I really love going to Morocco. It's a super, super special place. And we do two tours in Morocco. We do the adventure tour and we do the magical Morocco tour. The adventure tour is for somebody that has maybe a week vacation or limited vacation. It's basically 1 week and 2 weekends. If you can do the longer tour, it's definitely worth it. But if you don't have the time, then the short one will give you the highlights of Morocco in 9 days or 10 days. How does it work? We start in Malaga. It's a 1 hour ride to Algeciras and a 40-minute crossing to Ceuta. This is the Strait of Gibraltar right here. Gibraltar would be right there, the Rock of Gibraltar. Once we cross into Morocco, if we do the long tour, for example, we would come to Chefchaouen, the blue town in the Rif Mountains. Then we would go to Fez, one of the imperial cities. And all of northern Morocco will be green. It is not a desert. It is extremely green, okay? And then we're gonna cross over the Atlas Mountains and we're gonna come down to the Sahara Desert. We'll play in the sand dunes in Erg Chebi. And then we'll go to the Bulmandades and we'll go to the famous turns. We'll go down to Tagora in the south of Morocco. We'll go to Ouassasat, which is called the Moroccan Hollywood. It's where they shot the movie Ben-Hur, Gladiator, Game of Thrones, okay? All of these were shot in Morocco. Then we cross over, we go to Marrakesh, then we would go to Rabat, Tangiers, and then back to Malaga, where the base is. And hold on 1 second. I did want to say one thing. This is what I wanted. I think I skipped this. Okay. So, facts about Morocco. Morocco is in the northwest corner of Africa. It is thousands and thousands and thousands of miles from the Middle East. You would have to go from New York to Los Angeles and back 10 times to get to go from Morocco to the Middle East. It's very far. It's the most Islamic country in the world. What did I say? The most Islamic. It's the most liberal Islamic country, thank you, in the world. What does that mean? They make their own beer, for example. They make Casablanca beer and Ephesus beer. They make their own wine also. So they produce alcohol. Women always ask me, can I wear shorts? Absolutely fine. Can I wear a bikini at a swimming pool? Absolutely fine. It's not a problem, okay? They do not produce any oil. What they do make are rugs, And they want you to buy a rug, which is why, one of the reasons, but not the only reason, they're so friendly to North Americans, okay? There's no oil, but they will try and sell you a rug. And we will, of course, always help you and teach you some bargaining tricks to get a good price of the rug. And that's, for me, the best trick. Some people will like walk away, do the walk away trick. After being there for so long, this is my trick. After watching the rug store salespeople, they're so good. After watching them, sell a rug for $1,000, which is only worth $500, I talked to the salesman. I'm like, how can you do that? And they always said the same thing. They always said, yes, but she walked away happy. She walked away happy. So in their mind, if you buy something and you walk away happy, then it's good business. They made a good profit, you're happy, so it's all good. So when I go to buy something in Morocco, they'll say it's $1,000. I always go to 25%, so I'll say I'll give you $250. And then I want to get up to about half, and they'll go, oh no, $800. And then I say to them, I'm sure it's worth $800, but if I paid any more than $300, I wouldn't be happy. And it's like a deer in headlights. They go, because they don't, it's like reverse psychology. They don't know. They're like, no. But I just keep on saying that. I won't be happy. And that's the way that I negotiate in Morocco, okay? It's not just desert. There is a ton of mountains. The main ones, the Rift Mountains in the north, and the Atlas Mountains, which is the backbone of Morocco. Okay, so this is the slide that I skipped. And now we go to our video. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's our Morocco tour. Any questions on Morocco? Yes, sir.
Do you stay out in the desert 1 or 2 nights?
Excellent question. Do we stay out in the desert 1 or 2 nights? We stay in a Casbah hotel, which is one of my all-time favorite hotels in the world, which is about a half hour from the big dunes. It's where a lot of the Paris-Dakar motorcycle teams go to train, because the original Paris-Dakar went right through there. So it's a phenomenal hotel. This year, for the first time, we stayed 1 night in the desert. So we, instead of staying 2 nights at my favorite hotel, we split it up, and we did 1 night in my favorite hotel and 1 night in the dunes. And for next year, we're going to continue doing that. So that was a good question. Follow-up question. Go ahead.
Along with that, a camel ride? Do you ride on the camel?
Do we ride on camels? The answer is yes. We ride on camels. What we like to do is we ride on camels, on dune buggies, on quads also. And what we like to do is ride to the top of the highest dune for sunset, and then we'll have drink a bottle of wine and have a little toast. But yes, we do ride camels, which is an interesting gait, the way they walk. But very good questions. Any other questions? Okay. So let's see where we're going now. Okay. We're going to France, Italy, and the Alps. A couple of quick facts about them. The highest paved roads in Europe are in the Alps. Okay, this right here is the Stelvio Pass. Typical roads are more or less straight roads and a switchback. Okay, it's also home to Mont Blanc and the Stelvio Pass. Mont Blanc is the highest mountain in Europe. It's at 16,000 feet. And it's very close to Chamonix, France. It's in France. There are a lot of charming medieval villages in France and in Italy. So we have Carcassonne in the south of France, a medieval double-walled city. In Tuscany, we stay in San Gimignano. Has anybody been to San Gimignano? A beautiful, beautiful medieval city known for its 140 towers that are all around the city. And of course, French and Italian cuisine is world famous. Okay, so what tours do we do? We do Sardinia and Corsica. This is Sardinia and this is Corsica, okay? Now, you would think, because they're so close together, it's about a 20 or 30 minute ferry ride between the two, that they would be exactly the same. Nope, says Donna. They are completely different. Sardinia, which is the bigger island, second largest island in the Mediterranean, is a lower mountainous island that has incredible asphalt. The grip is incredible. We almost always put new tires on the motorcycles when we go to Sardinia because, the grip is so strong. Okay, there's a lot of it. It's Italian. There's a lot of seafood, a lot of pasta, a lot of Italian food, and it's a beautiful, beautiful island. When you cross over to Corsica, Corsica is like grabbing a handful of the Alps and dropping them in the Mediterranean Sea. You can snow ski in Corsica. The asphalt is not as good as Sardinia, but the scenery is breathtaking. And people say that the Corsicans live with their back to the sea. They are not fishermen. They have no interest in fishing. They like to go into the mountains and they hunt wild boar, they hunt deer, so their food is a lot of sausages and thick stews and things like this. It's not seafood. So it's completely different. And this tour, what we do, we leave Barcelona, we go over to Sardinia first, we ride around Sardinia, then we take the ferry to Corsica. We ride another 4 days in Corsica, and then we get a ferry to Marseille, we go to Avignon, to Carcassonne, and then back to Barcelona. We do this once a year, okay? Provence and Tuscany. This is a very famous one. This is a very famous, what I like to call a one-way round trip tour. Why? Because we start in Barcelona and we never ever backtrack. Okay, so we start in Barcelona, we cross the Pyrenees, we go into southern France here, we go by the Tarn Gorge and the Verdon, like the French Grand Canyon, which is the Verdon Canyon. We come down to Nice and we visit Monaco. We cross into Italy, we go to Cinque Terre, 5 landlocked, or they used to be landlocked, towns, beautiful towns, right in this region right here. And then we come to San Gimignano, where we're there for 3 days, and we make loops around Tuscany. We go to Siena, we go to Florence, we go to the Chianti wine region, and then the last day we ride down to Civitavecchia, the port outside of Rome, and then we take an overnight boat back to Barcelona. So it's a round trip, one-way tour. Alps and southern France. We start in Barcelona, and we head up into southern France. We go to Carcassonne, we go to Grenoble, and we hit the French Alps right here before we go into Switzerland, Chamonix, Interlaken, Kur. We do the Stelvio Pass. We come back through Italy, and then back through the high Alps right here, along the coast of France, and then back to Barcelona. And new for 2026, we're going to start a base in Lyon, France, which is right here. And from Lyon, we're going to do a shortened 9-day tour of the Alps. Okay? Yes, Chuck.
Do you have any tours that focus on the Dolomites?
Good question. Question about tours focusing on the Dolomites, the Italian Alps, if you will. Right now, we do not. But once we have the base set up in Lyon, then we're going to do the Western and the Eastern Alps. So we will be doing that's going to be the phase 2 of our new base. Very good question. Yeah, very, very nice riding. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, so let's go to the video. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Any questions on, oh, hands are going up. Yes?
How many of your customers are American versus the rest of the world?
Interesting question. I think that's the first time I've had it. How many of our customers are American versus the rest of the world? I would say on a normal tour, we will have maybe 75-80% American, Canadian. We always have some Australians. What else do we have? We have some Latin, maybe we'll have some Argentinians, Venezuelans, Colombians. But I would say about 80%. What did you say? We had Mexicans on a Morocco tour. So, but more or less about 80% would be the number. Good question. Yes, sir.
I missed the first part. On the meals, how many meals do you get a day?
Okay. How many meals do you get a day? This sounds like a prison or something. You get, well, on our tours, you will have breakfast every day and then dinner every night, except on rest days when you're free to go around and explore the town or whatever you want. So breakfast every day is always included. Lunches, we like to do a lunch fund, and then the guide will choose some local specialties so you can try different foods from the region during lunch, and then dinner, we have a nice meal. It's not, not everybody eats the same thing. Sometimes it's, they bring out pasta, everyone, you can normally choose off of maybe a menu or 3 or 4 first courses, 3 or 4 second courses. Very good question. Yes, sir.
How about helmets? You gotta bring your own helmet, or you supply the helmet?
Question about helmets, and we can build onto that and say riding gear. We have helmets and jackets and gloves for rent if you don't want to bring your own riding gear. But we highly recommend that you bring your own riding gear, especially helmet, because it's, it fits you well, it's comfortable. You're not going to ride for 2 hours and, feel like somebody's has a drill, on your forehead. So we highly recommend that you bring your own riding gear. I always carry my helmet as a carry-on in an airplane. I never check it. I've never ever checked my helmet. I just bring it as a carry-on, okay? The rest of my riding gear I do check. Yes, sir.
Since we were talking about helmets, I have an RI that's DOT and smell approved, but it's not ECE. I know the Europeans are kind of a little tough for the ECE requirement.
Okay, question about DOT or Snell helmets approved. They don't care. They really don't care. I think it's now illegal, at least in Spain, to ride with a beanie helmet. That you cannot. We always recommend a full face helmet. We have BMW helmets that are flip up, and it's nice because if you get into a lot of traffic or somewhere where it's hot, you can flip it up and then flip it down. But as long as
The only country I don't think concern is France.
those darn French again, right? Always making life difficult for everybody. It's fine. Nobody's going to say anything to you, Tom.
Have you changed your policy on speeding tickets?
Well, we don't speed, Tom. If you got a ticket, obviously that's your own doing.
We got a lot of tickets the last tour. I got 2. Everybody else-
Well, our guides didn't get any tickets, so you know what that means, Tom. That's on you. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, let's talk about Japan for a little bit. Has anybody been to Japan, first off? Okay, a couple of people. We started doing Japan tours about 10 years ago, and it was kind of, I was never interested in Japan. I'm going to say that right from the beginning. We were contacted by a Japanese company that had been contacted by the Japanese Tourism Board of Japan. And somehow they chose us, and they sent this Japanese company that rents motorcycles in Japan to Madrid, Spain, where my office is. There were 8 of them. And they came with all these gifts, and they were so friendly, and we talked about motorcycle riding and whatever. And a very nice conversation, and at the end they said, we want to invite you, everything paid, plane tickets and everything, to ride for a week in Japan with somebody else. So this is the Japanese tourism board that chose us and then sent this company as the representatives. I really had no interest in Japan. And then I went over with Martin, who's another guide, he's the director of the head guides, and we saw how amazingly beautiful Japan is, and how the roads are, the food is, and it's addicting. It really is kind of an addicting country, known as the land of the rising sun, and now we go 2 or 3 times a year. This year we have 3 tours to Japan. They're all sold out. They sell out very, very quickly. Known as the land of the rising sun, the highest mountain is, let me get out my famous pointer here, is Mount Fuji, which is right here. This is 13,000 feet. And for me, I think the most interesting thing about Japan is it's advanced and kind of stuck in time at the same time. So they have a lot of, very modern appliances. The Japanese toilet seat, for example, no finer toilet seat in the world. It looks like Captain Kirk's control seat. It's got buttons all over, sprays water, it has a blow dryer. I mean, it's incredible. But then there's certain things that you just cannot get done in Japan. You cannot get an early check-in at a hotel. You cannot change your room. Try and change your room. That'll take a half a day to do. There's different things that are fascinating about Japan. Now, I do not speak Japanese, so you would think, well, how can IMTBike and Scott take me to Japan and make it a good trip? Because the whole beauty of going to Japan is the culture. It's the culture. And so what we've done is we have 3 local guides, actually 2, this is Shinya-san, the van driver, but we have Mayo-san is his name, and we have trained him, and he is our head guide in Japan. And he's very, very good. His English is very good. But for me, the most important person in this picture is Eriko-san. Eriko-san lived in Dubai and worked for Emirates Airlines for 16 years. So her English is perfect. She moved back to Japan about 3 or 4 years ago to take care of her parents, to be closer to her parents. And she is our translator / fixer, and she goes on all of our tours, and she can get anything done. She'll explain the history of the monasteries or what the Buddhist monk is doing when he's blessing the automobile. She'll tell you about sumo. Whatever you need, she'll do it. And she is charming. She is such a good asset. So our tours, we always have 3 native Japanese people so that you get the most out of the experience. Okay? And we do a 16-day, and it links Tokyo to Kyoto, which would be here, to Hiroshima. So these are our 3 anchor points, and then we do everything in between. So this is Japan. It really is a fascinating country. Apart from Japan, we do a Thailand, Laos, and a Vietnam tour. This is obviously Southeast Asia. This is a one-way tour that starts in northern Thailand, does 4 days in northern Thailand, 3 days in Laos, and then goes along the northern part of Vietnam and ends in Hanoi. Okay? And then we have a 15-day Thailand-only tour. That's a different tour. And again, we work with a local company to make sure that the motorcycles, BMW motorcycles, are in great shape, and all the hotels and the restaurants are up to our quality. And normally, I go on these tours myself. This year, Japan, I'm going to do the first tour. Sergi-san's going to do the second tour, and then we have Chano, who's going to do the third tour. We always send an IMTBike guide on the tours. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, so this is Thailand right here. The long-necked ladies playing a guitar. That's kind of funny. And this is Vietnam, actually, these pictures. This is my lovely wife, of course, right there. And this is in Hanoi. This is the most dangerous street in the world because the train goes right through where these shops and houses are. So this is known as the most dangerous street in the world, right there. Okay. This is Japan only, Japan. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Always nice to have an applause. Okay. Has anybody ever read Charles Bukowski? Writer, California? No? Interesting. Charles Bukowski said, "I don't hate people, but I seem to feel better when they're not around." So if you can relate to that, maybe you might want to do a self-guided tour. Actually, the whole concept of the self-guided tour is maybe our dates don't work for you and you want to do it anyhow, so we can set it up for you. Our self-guided tours we do only in Europe, and you choose one of our existing tours, you give us your dates, and then we will set up the tour for you. We'll give you, we'll set up the hotels, we'll give you a GPS with the route, we give you a briefing the first day, about an hour and a half, to explain everything you need to know about the tour. And then you can call us during, we have a 24-hour hotline in case you need help. But you give us the dates and you do it whenever you want, okay? And any questions on self-guided tours before we get to our master chefs? And we have about 10 minutes left. Yes, sir?
Just a general question, if we all hope that we don't have an accident with another car or somebody crashes, the insurance, is it a deductible, how much, what choices between deductibles?
Okay, good question. The question is about insurance. It's not about accidents. We don't have questions about accidents here. We'll talk about insurance. When you either rent or go on a tour, there's insurance built into the price of the rental or the tour, and it has a 3,000 euro deductible. If you want, you can lower that to 500 euros, and it's 25 euros a day. So if it's a 10-day tour, for example, you would pay $250, and the maximum, in case you drop the bike or something happens to the bike, the maximum that you would pay would be 500 euros. Good question. Any other questions? Okay. So, our Master Chef guides. Now, for me, the most important thing about any tour, I mentioned this earlier, are the guides. And all of our guides are local, knowledgeable, and multilingual. All of our tours are run in English, okay? But apart from English, we speak Portuguese, Catalan, we speak Arabic, we speak, what else do we have here? We speak Basque, we speak French, we speak a lot of different languages, okay? But the tour will be run in English. They are expert motorcycle instructors. What does this mean? Is there anybody here from Florida or Iowa, maybe? Oh, well, Iowa, the hands went up. Okay. That's a flat. I've been through Iowa. I think...
You didn't go to the right place. It's not all flat.
Okay, not all flat.
No, get on a bicycle and ride across the state and you'll find out how it's not flat.
Okay. But it's not like Spain. So we have people that, you know, on the booking form, we ask for people's experience. Let's say they've been riding for 35 years or whatever. And then we go up into the mountains and we realize they've been riding, you know, a Harley in Florida, for example, not Iowa, for 35 years on a flat road, and you put them in some turns and they're not, the truth is they're not very good at riding in the turns. So we're always very happy to help them and go over different riding techniques to make them a safer rider, because safety is extremely important to us. Our guides are good people. Now that might sound funny or basic, but it is extremely true. And the truth is, there are 35 employees in the company, and there's not one jerk in the whole company. We have a no jerk policy. We will not let a jerk, they don't enter from day one. And that's when I interview people, that's the first thing I look for. And I tell them, you know, you're not gonna fit in here. You're gonna fit in better at another company, but you're just not gonna fit in here. They are good people. And for me, the most important thing is they are genuinely interested in making sure that you have a great time. It's not a fake, oh, you know, I'm just gonna, maybe he's gonna give me a tip. No, they really, really want you to have a good time. And it's very obvious that this is true. And they also have a sixth sense. What does this mean? It's not the Bruce Willis movie, you know, the little boy that speaks to the dead people. No. What it means is if we have 10 people on a tour right here, everybody will want something a little bit different. So Chuck and Barbara, they've lived in Europe and they feel comfortable in Europe. So, you know, they're fine. They want to do their own thing. Donna loves food, so she's interested in food. Bob loves, he just wants to ride curves all day. They will pick up on that very, very quickly, and in one tour, they will have 10 mini micro tours. And they will be working everybody, making sure that whatever they're interested in, they are getting. No tour that we run is ever the same, because the people are different, what they want are different, and the guides will see that, they will know it, and they will make little adjustments during the tour so that everybody is getting what they want out of the tour. And they're very fun people, okay? They're not serious people like this. We must go now. These are, not trying to do I don't do accents, so no, they are just fun people that you want to spend time with off the motorcycle. They are a ton of fun. Okay. Question, yeah, go ahead.
And they work incredibly hard,
Hmm.
and you don't see it. It's amazing.
And they work incredibly hard and you don't see it. Sometimes I will refer to our guides as ducks because they're calm on the outside, but underneath the water, their little feet are going, they're like going like this, but you never know what they're doing, okay? And it's very, very true. It is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job when you're a tour guide. And you can either do it or you can't do it. And the truth, some people will ask me, well, how long does it take to, it's almost like Kung Fu. Remember the old Kung Fu, when you can grab the pebble. People will say, how long do I have to work to become a head guide? And the truth is, I don't know, maybe never. If you don't have it, you can't do it. You have to have a special gift to be a head guide. And that is the truth. And we have 2 guides on every tour. This is the unsung hero. Nobody ever talks about the support vehicle. But the truth is, why not? I know there's 2 basic philosophies on the support vehicle. One of them is load the luggage and send it the fast way straight to the hotel, have it in your room, okay? And that's, I would love to arrive and have my luggage in my room. We don't do that. Our support van will always sweep and follow. It's going to do the exact same route that the motorcycles do. And we do this mainly for safety. Inside the support van, we have a full first aid kit, but very advanced. All of our guides have done EMT training, focusing on motorcycle issues, if you will. We have a spare motorcycle, we have tools, we have tires. We have everything in there. There's room for passengers. Does anybody ride, but maybe their wife or husband doesn't ride? Okay, there we go. That's fine with us. You can go in the person that doesn't ride. So your wife rides, but you don't. So you would go in the support van, and you would do the exact same tour. You'd make the same stops. You're with us for lunch, and you feel like you're doing the tour. And we have a little trick, because the guides will give you little jobs to do, so make you feel like you're part of the team. So you'll go and take pictures, and we'll say, go wait here, so you feel useful. And this is it's very important. And it works really, really well. When we stop for coffee, I know in the US you leave your helmets and jackets on the bike. Nobody does that in Europe. So we have a way to hang them up here, and it's very comfortable. So you can walk around. This is brand new for this year. So it's brand new. So you can walk around without carrying any heavy things. As I said, there's always 2 guides. So whenever you stop, there's always going to be, the guide on the motorcycle and the van driver. And a lot of times they're going to switch. So the van driver's today, tomorrow's on the motorcycle. But you always have 2 guides with you. It's not one guide and a van and somebody that transports the luggage to the next hotel. Yes, you have a question, Lee.
Yes, I was on the Morocco tour last year, and one of the riders piped out. The support van pulled up, emptied the van out. We assessed the rider that wiped out. His bike was totaled. He was fine. Well, the 2 guides got out, made sure he was all right. Got all the luggage out of the van, put a ramp down, got the spare bike out, loaded up the wrecked bike, put all the luggage back in the van within 30 minutes.
And we can do it. I mean, we will take out the spare bike if we need it. We change tires. We can do whatever we want. But to do that, we have to have the van with us. And that's why, if you ask me, IMTBike has an incredible safety record. And I think it's because the van is always close by and can solve issues instantly. So that's why I call this slide the unsung hero.
And the really good support vehicle van drivers have snacks for coffee breaks.
And sometimes in our van we carry water, we carry snacks, we have all little things in the van. So whenever, if anybody's hungry, we have little candy bars or chocolate or different, the cookies, we carry, we have, you know, we will do anything. So, in closing, what is the IMTBike Mystique? And this is brand new. I mean, I just came up with this because I was thinking, I mean, there is a mystique to it, okay? And for me, it really comes down to our guides. Because you can have, you know, roots, motorcycle knowledge, but this is a people business. And we really have the best guides that are mixing the ingredients to make a delicious meal, okay? This is what the guide's doing. But for me, more than that, I would say that our guides are human medicine. What do I mean by that? I want everybody right now to think of somebody that when they spend time with them, it could be a friend, a family member, you spend time with this person, and then after you finish and you leave, you feel happy. You always feel happy. It's just that person has that effect on you. And those people I call human medicine. Okay? Right there. Human medicine. All of our guides are cut from the same cloth. They might have different ways of doing things, but they are all human medicine. They're all very good people, and they will make sure that you have a great time. And what I do, and just to take it even a step further, because I know that this is true, and because I trust them 100%, my business model, which is rather weird or unique, is to give them an IMTBike credit card and I tell them, you can do whatever you want with it. You can buy wine during the week, you can open the bar before a briefing, you can buy this food, whatever you need to do it, get it done, and have an incredible tour. They don't have to ask me beforehand. They can do whatever they want. And they will take very, very good care of you with this mix. Okay? And with that, I say thank you very much for sitting here for so long. This is the first time I've done a premium seminar. And I'm right on time, by the way. That's pretty good. And does anybody have any questions on anything? A very good question about BMWs and people that are vertically challenged. Well, I'll tell you the one good thing now about the 1300 and the 1300 Adventure, we are buying them with the adjustable suspension, okay? And with the Adventure, we're buying the custom, what's it called? No, the comfort suspension. So that means that when you're going less than 30 miles an hour, the bike is low, and then over 30 miles an hour, the suspension automatically rises up. So it's not an issue. We also have low suspension 800 GSs. We still have some old suspension, low suspension 1250 GSs. We have low seats. We have a lot of different ways to work around that. But it's a very good question. Any other questions? Really? Okay. Well, listen, we nailed it. An hour and a half. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me.